Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08 and welcome to the 60th episode of my second 1 billion Iron Ingot challenge. In today's episode, I am going to be giving you a world download of the world that I have created in this playthrough of my 1 billion Iron Ingot challenge. So the first thing you'll want to do is go to the description of this video, and there should be a link at the bottom. That is a Google Drive link, and you'll want to click on that. It should bring you to a page that looks somewhat similar to this. What you'll want to do is you'll want to find the top up here. You'll want to just avoid or not worry about all of this stuff. You'll want to right click on where it says FTB Revelations server. You'll want to hit download, and then you'll see this up in the corner, and it should start downloading. This process will take a little while, so you'll want to just wait on this to download, and once it is all downloaded, then you can move on. One thing I didn't mention before is that this dialog box might pop up and it will say drive.google.com wants to download multiple files. You will need to hit allow on this. So as you can see, I've downloaded part of it, but I haven't downloaded the whole thing, and so now it is actually downloading the whole thing. In addition, there are a few other things I forgot to mention, and the first off is obviously you do need Java to run a Minecraft server. Assuming that you play Minecraft, if you play Minecraft on a desktop PC, then usually you will already have Java, so that's not a problem. In addition, there are going to be some computers that won't run the server very well, and that's because there is a lot going on in the server. So I'll show you one thing later on after you get the server up and running to see if your CPU is actually able to keep up. There will be some messages in the log box that will tell you exactly, or it will tell you a little bit about how well your CPU is doing in terms of keeping up. So once this is done downloading, and there's a little bit left to go, I will be back to show you how to continue. So once this is done downloading, what you will need to do is, actually I'm not sure if you can extract it straight from there. Apparently you can't. You'll need to drag it to your desktop, and then you will need to extract files. You can use pretty much any extraction software, but just hit OK and it should extract it to the desktop. And that takes just a little while. It's not too bad, and once this is all extracted and ready to go, I will be right back. Now that the extraction process is finished, and for my computer it took about 1 minute, but for your computer it may take a little bit longer, it might take a little bit less. It's kind of dependent upon your CPU and your storage drive, I believe. But anyways, we have this folder. It is FTB's server, Revelation server, and just go into the file here, and you'll need to find the server start.bat, and you'll want to hit that. A command prompt style box should pop up, and stuff should start happening. If you're on a AMD processor, the yellows won't look quite as yellow as they are with an Intel processor. I'm not really sure why that is, but anyways, this will go for a few minutes before it eventually stops. And right now it's just getting ready. It takes a few minutes for most computers to actually get the server all ready to go. And so I'm going to wait for that to happen, and once it is all ready and running, I will be right back. And I'm back. The server is up and running. Some of the last few messages that you'll see before the server's all ready to go are Thumbcraft messages, just saying stopping aura or aura thread for dimension, blah blah blah. And if your CPU is not able to keep up, you will see a lot of these messages right here to where it says server thread warn, can't keep up, did the system time change, or is this the server overloaded? So this message often appears right after you load up a server and it's ready to go. It does lag a little bit at the very beginning, but after it gets loaded up, you shouldn't see these messages hardly at all. So if you are seeing a lot of these messages, sadly your CPU is just not keeping up very well. You should still be able to play in the server. The time just won't be like it should be. It might be a little bit slow. But after you get this up and running, the server, you want to get the client up and running so that you can actually play in the world. So you'll need to go to Feed the Beast, and I actually use the legacy Windows launcher, which you can download right here at feedthebeast.com. So I already have that downloaded, obviously. So if you don't have this, just hit the legacy Windows download. It's not a real big file or anything. And my FTB launcher is right here. What you'll want to do is you'll want to go to the Feed the Beast Revelation, this right here, this tab, and you'll want to go to version 2.6.0, and that's because that's the version I was using. Also, a few things you might want to do is allocate some RAM to this process. I know a lot of computers have 8 gigs of RAM or 16 gigs of RAM, or even sometimes 32 gigs of RAM. You'll want to allocate as much RAM as you can for the most part. You'll definitely want to allocate at least 6 gigs of RAM. I found that with this mod pack and with so much going on in this world, you'll have a really stuttery experience if you don't have at least 6 gigs of RAM allocated. So after you get all that ready to go, what you'll want to do is make sure this is 2.6.0. And you'll also want to set this up if you haven't used the Feed the Beast launcher before. It's just basically your Minecraft credentials, your username, and then your password. You'll have to set that up, and then you'll hit launch. What should happen is you should start downloading some stuff, and that's because obviously you need to download these files to be able to play. So right now I'm just going to wait on this to download, and then we're going to have to do a few things to actually tweak a few things, because I've added a couple mods to the mod pack. And so once all that is done, I will be right back. So after everything is downloaded and ready to go, it will automatically launch into Minecraft. So what we want to do right now is we want to actually exit out, because there are a couple things that we need to do before we can actually hop into the world. First off, we need to have this actually exit out. There it goes. Or did it? I don't know why this isn't exiting, but anyways, you can't quite play it yet. What you'll want to do is you want to hop back into Feed the Beast, and you'll want to look at the file path, and actually it might have set it up automatically, it might not. But my install folder is C/FTB. So what I want to do is I want to go to that file. So let's find that CFTB, and then we want to go to Revelation, because that's the mod pack here, Minecraft, and then we want to go to mods. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to just straight up delete the mods folder. So just hit delete, and then what I want to do is go to the servers mods folder, and I want to copy that. So we're just going to hit copy, and then we are going to paste that into the FTB Revelation Mindpack folder for the client side. So now what we should be able to do is we should be able to hop back into Feed the Beast launcher, and now we can hit launch. And now we can let it launch for real. This usually takes a few minutes also, so I'm going to let this load up, and once it's all loaded, I will be right back. Once Minecraft is up and running and ready to go, you should get to a screen that looks somewhat like this. It will probably actually look more like this, but I've already played with some of the options to get it to where looking like how I want. What you'll want to do is you'll want to go to multiplayer, and you'll want to learn the IP address of the server. Now, I should have mentioned this earlier, but you can have the server either on the same computer that you are playing the client on, as in the same computer that you are playing the actual game on, or you can have it on another computer. If you have this, if you have the server on the same computer, what you'll need to do is you'll want to go down to add server, and for the server address, you can just put in localhost, all lowercase, all one word, and it should pop up pretty soon to where you'll see green over here, and that means that is ready to go. In addition, if you set up the server on another computer, which I also have done, you'll want to learn the local IP address of that computer, or you can even use the regular IP address. But if it is a computer in the same network, you can use the local IP address, and that would be for my other computer, I think 192.168.1.8, and that should be the other server. Now that should pop up and also be green. So I'm going to use the server that's also on this computer, and what should happen is when you drop into the Minecraft world, you should spawn pretty close to where I spawned when I originally started the series. Now I've actually set myself up to be at that location, so when I drop into the world here, I should be about the same spot you will spawn in. So if you notice where we're at, I am very close to my old base. So you'll want to just trudge over there real quickly. Obviously, I have really good armor on, so I'm going to run over there real fast. There are several buildings here. You'll want to go into the biggest building, which will be probably the second building you come to. Don't mind all the sheep. So you want to go over to my teleporter, and there's actually a chest on top of the dialing device, and that has some goodies for you in it, and you want to pick up all this stuff. So I'm going to do that right now. Obviously, I already have some of this stuff. There is a set of armor that you can use. You don't have to. There's also a flux spore. Next, you'll want to actually step into the matter transmitter, and this will take you to my new base. So if your computer isn't the best, you will probably have some stutter around my new base, but that should be okay. Hopefully you can still play. You want to go out the doors here, and you'll want to drop down right here. Now, before you continue, you should go up here and go to your team, and you'll want to join my team. My team is Phenom Stealer's team, and once you join my team, you will be able to edit blocks in the chunks. What you'll want to do is you'll want to pick up the security terminal by any means necessary, and you'll want to actually place it back down. So that will allow you to access the Applied Energistics network. Once you drop in the wireless terminal that I gave you, just shift click it, and then it should be ready to go. So if we right click on the new terminal that I have linked up, it is ready to go. So that's fantastic. You now have access to my Applied Energistics system. The next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to go to my fusion base, and that is because I have the personal nanobot beacon ready for you to use. So you'll just hit dial on the fusion receiver, and that will take you to my fusion base. So once you get over here, you should see everything should be running, hopefully. So you'll want to go over to this elevator over here, go up, and then you'll want to go to my personal nanobot beacon building, and you'll want to whip out that personal nanobot beacon that was in that chest earlier, and you'll just put it at the top of the structure right here, right on that flux duct. And pretty soon, I'm not sure how soon this is ready to go. Okay, I really thought it would be ready by now. You should get the buffs, and I'm not sure why I'm not getting them quite yet. Actually, you know what? I might need to use my proper terminal right here. I might need to use an assembler. Or I might need to click on it with an empty hand here. Let me try to replace this, because this should work. I'm not really sure why it's not. Unless all of the blocks are identified as mine. Okay, there we go. Everything seems to be working now. I'm not sure why that wasn't working, but you should get some debuffs. You might have to play with this like I had to play with it, and you should be good to go then. So everything over here is already chunk loaded for you. There are certain aspects of my base which are not chunk loaded, and sorry, that's not where I want to go. I want to go back to my main base, and I want to show you how to load up some of the stuff that I do not have loaded up. And that's just because I wanted to kind of lessen the CPU load on some of your CPUs, because I have a very good CPU, and you might not have quite as good a CPU, so I have some things not loaded up that would normally be loaded in my world. As you can see, if you go to the chunk loaded map here, if you go north, west, or east, none of that is chunk loaded. So let's actually go over to Cobble Corp and get that all chunk loaded and ready to go, because that is something you might want to do. So what you want to do is go over to the matter transmitter, find Cobble Corp, and that is, everything's in alphabetical order. I don't know why I scrolled down, but Cobble Corp is over here. Nothing is running. What you want to do is you want to flip this lever to be off. That should set in motion this right here. So that's good to see. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to the claim chunks, and you'll want to chunk load these by holding shift while you drag your mouse over them. So as you can see, this is now chunk loaded, and you'll have to chunk load the entire pathway between here and my main base to get everything all ready to go. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of land here, and obviously having a good set of armor allows you to run and make things a little bit quicker here. But I'm going to go ahead and do all this on camera just so you can see the entire process here. And actually, I have a little offshoot over here that I also need to chunk load. And that's not part of Cobble Corp. It's part of a void miner of some sort. I'm not sure if it's a botanic miner or what, but I know I have something down here. So let's get this chunk loaded as well. And did that actually go? Yes, it did. Okay, so let's run back towards my main base. There is quite a bit of ground to cover, unfortunately. But this shouldn't take too long because obviously I can run pretty fast here. Like I said, you will need to chunk load all of the chunks in between here. And that's just so you get the energy over to the peripheral base and the applied energistics channels as well. Okay, so we're close-ish. Running. Okay, there. I can see the main base from here, so that's good. Okay, there we go. The last chunks, and that's all chunk loaded. So one last thing we need to do, I have disconnected the applied energistics and the flux duct cables, and they should be really easy to reconnect because I have the blocks that you'll need right here. There, you'll just need to disconnect them real fast and then connect them up how they're supposed to be, which would be here, here, and here. So that should be all ready to go, and Cobble Corp should be on its way to producing. So that's good to know. In addition, I have also done that to the north and the west, I believe. So to the north, I have my NuclearCraft base. If you want to chunk load that and get that up and running, you'll just need to do the same process with that. Just chunk load everything. At my NuclearCraft base, I also have all of the nuclear reactors turned off. All of that is just operated by levers. So you'll just have to flip those levers to be on if you want to get those operating. And you'll just need to connect these two the flux duct and the applied energistics up to get that up and running as well. And then to the west, I believe I have my Botania base. So let's run over here. Same deal. You'll just want to destroy these blocks right here and just put them right, the flux duct right here, and then the applied energistics cable right here, and then chunk load everything between that base and this base, and then that should also be up and running. So I think that's just about everything. Hopefully everything turns out all right. If you have any questions about anything, definitely just throw me a comment in the comment section, and I will try to help you out as quick as I can, because there is a very good chance that I missed something. And hopefully you can play around with my world. Have fun, do whatever you want. It's your world now, so yeah. So anyways, if you enjoyed this episode, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy watching automation type stuff in modern Minecraft, definitely subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.